You know, there comes a time when you've got to let go. I'm talking about those people who keep you waiting, the ones who never show up when you need them, who take but rarely give. Maybe you've been searching for them, looking for some kind of acknowledgement, some kind of validation from folks who barely notice your absence. But when you stop looking for them, oh, that's when they start to feel it. That's when they realize the value you brought into their lives. Letting go isn't just an action, it's a profound statement of inner strength. When you choose to release something or someone that doesn't serve you, you're making a declaration that you're strong enough to move forward without what no longer supports or values you. Letting go isn't about weakness, it's about reclaiming the power that may have been taken from you bit by bit through relationships, situations, or people who were never willing to give back as much as they took. It's an exercise in self-awareness, a realization that you deserve more than being weighed down by what no longer contributes positively to your journey. When you decide to let go, you're choosing yourself over the illusion of connection. It can be easy to hold on to familiar faces, habits, or routines, even when they don't bring anything valuable to your life. There's comfort in what's known, but real growth often requires moving beyond that comfort zone. Releasing people and situations that no longer align with your goals or values open space for new, healthy connections to enter. It's an act of courage because you're stepping away from something familiar into the unknown, but in doing so, you allow room for more genuine, meaningful relationships. Letting go also signals to others that you're no longer willing to compromise your worth. When people see that you're unafraid to walk away, they recognize your strength, often for the first time. You're showing that you won't settle for half-hearted relationships or situations that drain you without offering anything back. People may not always respect your boundaries if you stay available for their convenience. But when you pull away, those same people see the strength it takes to prioritize your own well-being over the comfort of their presence. It's a reminder that you value yourself enough to release what doesn't value you. This choice to let go can be lonely, but it's in solitude that you often discover your truest self. When you're no longer seeking validation from external sources, you can begin to recognize your own value independently. Standing alone, you start to see who you are and what you truly need in your life. You're no longer defined by the expectations or needs of others, but by your own sense of purpose and direction. This new perspective becomes a powerful tool in shaping your future, unencumbered by those who are unwilling to support or respect your journey. Letting go teaches resilience. It's about more than simply walking away, it's about carrying on without bitterness or resentment. You learn that holding on to anger or frustration only binds you further to the past. True strength comes from releasing those emotions and moving forward with an open heart. It's not about erasing the memories or pretending they didn't happen. It's about allowing them to fade naturally as you focus on creating new ones that align better with who you are becoming. This emotional resilience is a testament to your growth and ability to rise above difficult situations. In letting go, you also send a powerful message to the universe about what you're willing to accept. By releasing what no longer serves you, you're setting a higher standard for yourself. You're telling the world and yourself that you're ready for relationships, opportunities, and experiences that align with your true self. This higher standard naturally attracts better things into your life. People who respect you, situations that bring joy rather than stress, and opportunities that support your personal growth start to come your way because you've made it clear that you're no longer settling. Another strength that emerges through letting go is patience. Letting go doesn't mean everything immediately falls into place. It's a process, sometimes a long one, of adjusting and finding new paths. You learn to be patient with yourself and the journey. You're no longer in a rush to replace what you've left behind because you understand the value of taking time to find what truly fits your life. This patience is a mark of inner peace and self-confidence, showing that you believe in the process and are willing to wait for the right things to come at the right time. Letting go also sharpens your intuition. When you've made the hard decision to release what no longer serves you, you become more aware of what you need moving forward. Your instincts become clearer because you're no longer clouded by the noise of unnecessary attachments. You start to recognize the red flags that you might have previously ignored, making choices that protect your peace and well-being. This strengthened intuition is a vital tool, helping you to make decisions that align with your values and avoid unnecessary setbacks in the future. As you move forward, you start to see your own strength reflected in the boundaries you set. Letting go empowers you to establish boundaries that protect your time, energy, and mental health. You're no longer afraid to say no or to distance yourself from situations that don't serve your highest good. These boundaries aren't about shutting people out. They're about allowing yourself the freedom to thrive without compromise. By setting limits, you're reinforcing your sense of self-respect and ensuring that only those who truly value you have access to your time and energy. Through this process, you gain a new appreciation for self-reliance. Letting go teaches you that, at the end of the day, you have everything within you to be content and fulfilled. You don't need the validation or approval of others to feel whole. This self-reliance is empowering because it means that you are free from the dependency on external sources for happiness. It's a realization that you can build a life that satisfies you without needing anyone else to complete it. This independence becomes a core part of your strength. Letting go teaches you the art of acceptance. You come to understand that not everything is meant to stay in your life forever. Some people, situations, and experiences come only to teach you lessons. Accepting this truth allows you to let go without regret. You're able to see the value in the past without clinging to it. Acceptance allows you to close chapters gracefully, carrying forward only the wisdom they imparted and leaving behind the rest. Absence creates awareness in a way that presence often cannot. When you're constantly around, people get used to you, and they start to take your presence for granted. Your presence becomes part of the background, something reliable and unwavering, so they may not always see or appreciate what you bring to their lives. But the moment you step back, it's like pulling away a safety net. They suddenly feel the gap you used to fill. That space, that silence, it reminds them of the value you brought simply by being there. Absence acts as a mirror, reflecting back to people what they may have overlooked or undervalued in the hustle of everyday life. Absence stirs memories. When you're no longer around, people start to remember the times you supported them, the ways you added light to their days, or even the little things you did that made a difference. It's only in your absence that they start to piece together the significance of those moments, those small gestures they might have once brushed off. Every laugh, every comforting word, every bit of effort you put in, suddenly, these memories become vivid, reminding them of the warmth and connection they once had with you. Without realizing it, they begin to miss the subtle ways you made their life easier or more enjoyable. In that space left by your absence, people begin to confront what they may have taken for granted. They recognize the convenience they once enjoyed, the availability they relied upon, and the emotional support you provided. These realizations don't come immediately, they build gradually as the reality of your absence settles in. When you're not there, they feel the weight of what you used to carry for them, and for the first time, they see just how much you gave. This understanding creates a new awareness, a deeper appreciation of the things they once overlooked. Absence also highlights the effort you put into the relationship. When you're always there, always giving, people might assume that the relationship will sustain itself, that it requires little effort on their part. But when you step back, they're forced to see how much of the connection was held together by your energy, your willingness to reach out, to support, to give. This newfound awareness can be a wake-up call, making them realize that relationships require mutual effort, not just one-sided dedication. They start to see that they had a role to play too, one they may not have been fulfilling as fully as they thought. Absence exposes the void of emotional support that was once readily available. They start to notice how different it feels without the comfort of your encouragement or the security of knowing you were there if they needed you. It's a realization that only comes when someone's presence has become an essential part of their life. They begin to understand that you weren't just physically there, you were emotionally invested, and that investment created a sense of stability. When that stability disappears, they come to appreciate just how much your presence meant to their own sense of peace and comfort. When someone feels your absence, it often forces them to confront their own behavior. They start to question if they appreciated you enough, if they reciprocated, if they contributed equally to the relationship. It's a form of self-reflection that might not have been possible while you were constantly available. In the stillness left behind, they have to sit with these thoughts, examining whether they valued you properly, whether they showed gratitude for all that you offered. This self-reflection can lead to growth, both in how they view you and how they approach relationships in the future. In the absence of your presence, people also begin to notice the qualities that made you unique. They recognize the little quirks, the special ways you communicated, the empathy you showed, the laughter you brought into their lives. These qualities, which might have seemed small in the moment, suddenly take on a new importance. Without them, life feels a bit less colorful, a bit less meaningful. This awareness shows them that there's something irreplaceable about you, something they can't find just anywhere. They start to see that not everyone brings the same level of depth, care, or understanding that you did. Absence can even change the way people perceive their own lives. When you were around, they may have taken your influence lightly, but without you, they start to see just how much you helped shape their decisions, their outlook, their growth. Your absence prompts them to reevaluate the way they approach things, realizing the impact you had on their mindset. They might even feel a sense of loss, knowing that your guidance or insight is no longer there to steer them. This awareness fosters an appreciation that grows with time, as they see the imprint you left on their life, even in your absence. The space left behind by your absence gives people a chance to miss you genuinely. When you're always available, people can become complacent, assuming you'll always be there no matter what. But in stepping back, you allow them to experience life without you, and this gap serves as a powerful reminder of what you meant to them. This longing, this sense of something missing, brings a fresh awareness to the role you played. They start to understand that you weren't just a fixture in their life, you were a source of comfort, joy, and understanding, and now, without you, they feel the depth of that absence. Absence also challenges people to reflect on what they need to do differently. When they realize what they've lost, they may begin to think about how they could have shown up more, appreciated you more, or invested more into the relationship. This new awareness can inspire growth, pushing them to be more mindful in their relationships moving forward. They come to see that relationships aren't guaranteed, that they require attention and respect, and your absence teaches them that these are things they can't take for granted if they want to maintain meaningful connections in their life. Absence has a way of solidifying your worth in the minds of others. When you step back, people are forced to confront what your presence truly brought to their lives. The things they once dismissed or overlooked take on a new light, revealing just how much you added to their world. They begin to understand that your value wasn't about being physically present, but about the energy, kindness, and loyalty you consistently brought. Self-worth over external validation is a journey of shifting focus from what others think to what you know within yourself. Too often, people place their value in the hands of others, seeking approval, recognition, or praise to feel good. But this is a fragile way to live, because it makes you dependent on factors beyond your control. When you rely on external validation, your sense of worth is constantly fluctuating based on other people's opinions, moods, and judgments. Choosing self-worth over external validation means deciding to build a strong foundation within, one that isn't shaken by what others think or say. Self-worth is about embracing who you are with all your strengths, weaknesses, and quirks. It's acknowledging that you are enough just as you are, without needing anyone else to say it. This sense of inner validation doesn't come from a place of arrogance or conceit. It comes from a quiet confidence, an acceptance of your intrinsic value. When you cultivate self-worth, you realize that you are deserving of respect, kindness, and love, not because of any external achievement or compliment, but simply because you exist. This realization becomes a powerful source of peace and stability. Developing self-worth means letting go of the need to constantly seek validation from others. This can be challenging because society often rewards external achievements and places high value on appearances, popularity, and status. It's easy to get caught in a cycle of seeking approval, where your happiness depends on how others perceive you. But the more you rely on external validation, the more disconnected you become from your true self. Your worth becomes conditional based on meeting expectations and fitting into molds that might not even reflect who you are. By choosing self-worth, you break free from these limitations and begin to live authentically. One of the most empowering aspects of choosing self-worth is the freedom it brings. When you're no longer driven by the need for approval, you're free to pursue what genuinely fulfills you. You start making choices based on your own values, interests, and passions rather than what will impress others. This freedom allows you to explore new paths, take risks, and follow your intuition without the fear of judgment holding you back. You realize that your worth isn't determined by the opinions of others, and this knowledge becomes a liberating force in your life. Self-worth also enhances resilience. When you know your own values, setbacks, and criticism don't have the same power to derail you, you can accept constructive feedback without letting it shake your core because you're secure in who you are. External validation, on the other hand, makes you more susceptible to taking things personally, seeing every negative comment or rejection as a reflection of your worth. But when you value yourself from within, you can weather challenges with grace, learning and growing from them without losing sight of your inherent worth. Building self-worth is a process of becoming your own greatest advocate. It means standing up for yourself, honoring your boundaries, and not settling for less than you deserve. When you're dependent on external validation, it's easy to compromise, to let others overstep boundaries just to keep the peace or gain approval. But when you prioritize self-worth, you learn to say no when something doesn't align with your values or needs. You become more assertive, protecting your energy and time because you understand their value. This self-respect radiates outward, signaling to others that you expect to be treated with dignity. Choosing self-worth over external validation allows you to embrace imperfection. When you're focused on gaining approval, it's tempting to put on a facade, hiding any perceived flaws or weaknesses. You might strive for perfection, not because it's meaningful to you, but because you believe it will earn you acceptance. But self-worth isn't about being perfect, it's about being real. It's about accepting yourself fully, knowing that your imperfections make you human, relatable, and whole. When you stop seeking validation, you stop hiding parts of yourself, allowing you to show up more authentically in every area of life. Self-worth fosters a deeper, more fulfilling kind of confidence. This isn't the kind of confidence that comes from accolades or applause. It's a quiet assurance rooted in self-acceptance. You don't need to prove anything to anyone because you know who you are and what you stand for. This kind of confidence is stable and unwavering. Unlike the fleeting boost that comes from external praise, it's the kind of confidence that remains even when you're alone, when no one is watching, because it's based on your own validation rather than the approval of others. Another gift of self-worth is the ability to connect with others in a more genuine way. When you no longer seek validation from others, your relationships become less about what you can gain and more about shared experiences and mutual respect. You're able to appreciate others for who they are, without needing them to validate you or fill any emotional void. This allows for deeper, more meaningful connections because you're showing up as your authentic self, not a version molded by the expectations of others. People are drawn to this authenticity, and it often inspires them to embrace their own true selves as well. When you choose self-worth, you also develop a greater sense of gratitude. You stop focusing on what you lack or what others have, and you start appreciating the unique qualities and experiences that make you who you are. External validation often fosters a mindset of comparison, where you're constantly measuring yourself against others. But with self-worth, you're able to celebrate your own journey, recognizing that you're exactly where you're meant to be. This shift from comparison to gratitude brings a sense of contentment and peace, allowing you to find joy in your own path. Self-worth teaches you to trust yourself. When you're dependent on external validation, you may second-guess your choices, wondering if they'll be accepted or approved by others. But with self-worth, you learn to listen to your own intuition, trusting that you know what's best for your life. You're no longer swayed by the opinions or judgments of others because you have confidence in your own inner compass. This self-trust becomes a guiding force, allowing you to navigate life's challenges with a sense of purpose and clarity. Encouraging self-discovery is about giving yourself permission to explore who you truly are beneath the layers of expectation, routine, and the roles others have assigned to you. Self-discovery is a journey inward, a process of unveiling parts of yourself that may have been buried or neglected. It requires curiosity and a willingness to ask deep questions about your values, dreams, and unique gifts. This journey isn't about reaching a fixed destination, but rather learning to appreciate and embrace each discovery along the way. Every moment of self-discovery brings you closer to a more authentic, grounded, and fulfilled version of yourself. To begin self-discovery, it helps to create space in your life for reflection and solitude. In our busy world, it's easy to lose touch with who we are amid all the noise. Taking time to sit quietly with yourself, away from distractions, allows you to reconnect with your inner voice. In these moments, you can start to separate your true desires from what society, family, or friends have told you is important. Solitude isn't about isolation, it's about giving yourself the freedom to explore your thoughts, dreams, and fears without external influence. In solitude, you find clarity, uncovering insights that might otherwise go unnoticed. Self-discovery is also about questioning your beliefs. Many of our beliefs come from external sources, our upbringing, culture, or environment. Over time, these beliefs can shape our identity and influence our choices. However, not all of them serve us well. Encouraging self-discovery means examining each belief to see if it aligns with your true self, or if it's simply something you've absorbed. When you question these beliefs, you gain the freedom to choose what truly resonates with you, creating a life that reflects your own values rather than the expectations of others. This process allows you to shed what no longer serves you. A significant part of self-discovery is exploring your passions and interests. Often we get so focused on responsibilities and obligations that we neglect the things that genuinely bring us joy. Encouraging self-discovery means making time for activities that spark your curiosity and energize you. Whether it's learning a new skill, reading about a subject that fascinates you, or trying a new hobby, following your interests opens up new paths and possibilities. Each pursuit is a stepping stone to understanding what truly excites you and gives your life meaning. These passions aren't distractions, they are pathways to uncovering your authentic self. Self-discovery also involves understanding your strengths and weaknesses. It's about acknowledging what you excel at and where you may need to grow without judgment or comparison. When you accept both your strengths and areas for improvement, you develop a balanced perspective on yourself. This self-awareness becomes empowering, helping you set realistic goals and pursue challenges that align with your natural talents. Recognizing your strengths gives you confidence, while understanding your limitations fosters humility. Both are essential for personal growth, as they guide you to make choices that align with your true potential. Self-discovery encourages you to embrace your emotions fully. Many people are taught to suppress or ignore their feelings, especially the uncomfortable ones. But every emotion holds valuable information about who you are and what you need. By paying attention to your feelings, you gain insight into your desires, boundaries, and values. Rather than pushing emotions away, self-discovery invites you to explore them with curiosity and compassion. When you understand why you feel a certain way, you can make choices that honor your emotional well-being. Embracing your emotions is a powerful step toward living authentically. Another aspect of self-discovery is exploring your relationships and how they impact your sense of self. The people around you can either encourage your growth or hold you back. Encouraging self-discovery often means taking a closer look at your relationships and determining whether they support your journey. Are you surrounded by people who see your potential, who encourage you to be yourself? Or are you surrounded by those who impose their own expectations on you? Understanding the influence of others on your self-discovery allows you to set healthy boundaries and seek relationships that nurture your true self. Self-discovery also calls for courage to explore your fears. Often, fear can keep you from pursuing things that could lead to greater fulfillment or personal growth. When you confront your fears, you learn more about your inner resilience and strength. Encouraging self-discovery means acknowledging what scares you, facing those fears head-on, and not letting them control your life. As you work through your fears, you gain confidence, proving to yourself that you are capable of overcoming challenges. This process of facing fear is an essential part of self-discovery, revealing strengths you may not have known you had. To truly embrace self-discovery, it's also important to practice self-compassion. The journey to discovering yourself can be challenging, and you will likely face setbacks or moments of doubt. Self-compassion reminds you to be kind and patient with yourself through this process. Rather than criticizing yourself for perceived shortcomings or mistakes, you learn to treat yourself with understanding. Self-compassion fosters a supportive inner environment, allowing you to explore without fear of judgment. It gives you permission to make mistakes, learn from them, and continue growing. With self-compassion, self-discovery becomes a nurturing experience. Self-discovery encourages you to envision your ideal future, beyond what others expect or what seems practical. It's about giving yourself the freedom to dream without limitation. Imagining what you truly want in life, whether it's related to career, relationships, or personal growth, helps you understand your deepest desires. These dreams might evolve, but they provide valuable insight into who you are and what matters most to you. When you pursue your dreams as part of your self-discovery journey, you open doors to possibilities that align with your authentic self, allowing you to build a life that reflects your true essence. Self-discovery is an ongoing journey. It's not something you do once and then move on from. It's a lifelong process of learning, growing, and evolving. With each new experience, each challenge, and each achievement, you discover more about who you are and what you're capable of. Encouraging self-discovery means embracing this journey with an open mind and a sense of wonder, knowing that every step brings you closer to a deeper understanding of yourself. This continuous exploration makes life rich and meaningful, transforming it into an ever-unfolding path of growth and self-realization. The belief that the right connections will come is rooted in patience, faith, and self-trust. Often we may feel pressured to network constantly, to force connections, or to seek approval from those around us to validate our worth. But forcing connections can lead to superficial relationships that don't align with who we truly are or what we need. Trusting that the right people will come into your life requires a mindset shift, moving from a sense of urgency to a calm belief that things will fall into place naturally. It's about trusting that as you grow, those meant for you will cross your path at the right time. When you allow the right connections to come into your life, you're creating space for authentic relationships. There's no need to pretend or to mold yourself into someone else to fit in. True connections happen when people resonate with your real self, not with a version that you're projecting just to be accepted. These relationships are founded on mutual understanding, respect, and genuine support. You don't have to work tirelessly to maintain them. They flow naturally because they're built on a shared sense of authenticity. In these connections, you feel seen and valued for who you truly are. The journey to finding the right connections often starts with letting go of the wrong ones. Sometimes we cling to people out of fear of loneliness, convenience, or habit, even when they no longer contribute positively to our lives. These relationships can drain us and hold us back from growth. By releasing those who don't align with your values or goals, you create space for people who genuinely belong in your life. Letting go is difficult, but it's essential in making room for connections that will uplift and support you on your path. One of the most rewarding aspects of waiting for the right connections is the peace that comes with it. When you stop chasing approval or validation, you feel a sense of calm because you know that you don't have to rush. You're no longer caught up in the pressure to impress or fit in. Instead, you're focusing on becoming the best version of yourself. This shift in focus allows you to meet people who are drawn to your genuine qualities, rather than those who are attracted to a facade. This piece becomes a powerful foundation for all future relationships. Believing that the right connections will come also means trusting in timing. Life has a way of introducing people into your life when you're ready for them, even if you can't always see it in the moment. Sometimes the people you need the most show up unexpectedly, or at times when you least anticipate it. When you trust in this timing, you're less likely to rush into connections just for the sake of companionship. You learn to appreciate the journey, recognizing that each experience and encounter has its place in preparing you for those deeper, meaningful relationships. Embracing the idea that the right connections will come encourages you to be intentional about who you surround yourself with. Instead of simply accepting anyone who enters your life, you start seeking relationships that align with your goals, values, and vision. Intentionality helps you recognize when a connection feels right or wrong, empowering you to make choices that honor your growth. This mindset encourages you to prioritize quality over quantity, focusing on relationships that bring value, inspiration, and positivity into your life. With intentionality, each connection becomes a meaningful part of your journey. Patience is a crucial part of waiting for the right connections. In a world that often emphasizes instant gratification, waiting can feel uncomfortable. However, patience teaches you resilience and helps you focus on your own growth in the meantime. As you work on becoming the person you aspire to be, you become naturally aligned with others on a similar path. This alignment attracts people who understand your journey and respect the effort you've put into personal growth. Patience allows connections to form naturally without forcing or rushing, creating relationships that are built on a solid foundation. While waiting for the right connections, self-reflection becomes invaluable. Taking time to understand your own needs, desires, and values helps you recognize when a relationship truly resonates. By reflecting on what you seek in a connection, you become clearer about the kind of people you want to invite into your life. Self-reflection fosters self-awareness, making it easier to identify relationships that are fulfilling versus those that are draining. It's a process of tuning into your own energy and being honest about what brings you peace, joy, and inspiration. This clarity is essential in recognizing the right connections when they appear. Allowing the right connections to come requires a mindset of abundance. Instead of believing that there are only limited opportunities to meet compatible people, you cultivate faith that there is an abundance of like-minded souls who are also looking for meaningful connections. This perspective removes the sense of scarcity, allowing you to approach relationships with an open heart and without desperation. Abundance mentality attracts people who match your energy, as you're more likely to connect from a place of genuine interest rather than need. This openness invites the right connections to enter your life effortlessly. One of the most beautiful outcomes of waiting for the right connections is the depth of relationship that emerges. These connections go beyond surface-level interactions. They're built on trust, understanding, and shared values. People who come into your life when you're ready for them often bring with them lessons, growth, and inspiration. These are the connections that challenge you to become better, that stand by you in difficult times, and that celebrate your successes wholeheartedly. They offer a sense of belonging that's hard to find in relationships that lack this natural depth and alignment. Believing that the right connections will come allows you to release the need for control. You learn to let go of expectations and trust in the natural flow of life. By surrendering to this process, you open yourself up to encounters and experiences that you might not have expected or planned. These unexpected connections often turn out to be the most valuable, enriching your life in ways that you couldn't have anticipated. Trusting in the right connections is ultimately about trusting yourself and your journey, knowing that those who are meant to be in your life will find their way to you. Empowerment through action is a transformative approach to personal growth and self-confidence. It's not just about setting goals or dreaming big. It's about taking concrete steps, however small, toward making those dreams a reality. When you move from thought to action, you're telling yourself and the world that you believe in your potential. Every step you take, regardless of how minor it may seem, is a declaration of self-worth and capability. Action isn't about perfection, it's about progress, momentum, and the courage to step forward despite challenges. With each action, you cultivate strength and resilience, laying a foundation for lasting empowerment. When you commit to action, you transform fear and doubt into energy for growth. Fear has a way of paralyzing us, of keeping us in the comfort of the familiar. But action disrupts this cycle by shifting your focus from what could go wrong to what you can create. Taking action pushes you beyond self-doubt and insecurity, allowing you to see what you're truly capable of achieving. As you step out of your comfort zone, your confidence grows, and you realize that fear is not an insurmountable barrier, but a challenge that can be overcome. Each action taken in the face of fear is a step toward a more empowered version of yourself. Action grounds you in the present, making your goals feel tangible and within reach. It's easy to get lost in planning, waiting for the perfect time to start, or obsessing over potential outcomes. But action brings clarity, revealing what works and what doesn't, what's aligned with your values and what isn't. Rather than waiting endlessly, you begin to see progress unfold before your eyes. You become an active participant in your own story, shaping your journey one step at a time. Each action reminds you that life is happening now, not tomorrow, and that empowerment is a continuous, evolving journey. Taking action allows you to build trust in yourself. Each time you follow through on a commitment, no matter how small, you strengthen your relationship with yourself. You prove that you're reliable, capable, and willing to put in the effort to achieve your goals. This self-trust is foundational to empowerment. It reassures you that no matter what challenges arise, you have the skills and resilience to handle them. When you can count on yourself to take action, you feel less reliant on external validation. You become your own source of strength, knowing that you'll continue moving forward, regardless of external circumstances. Action also teaches you to embrace failure as a natural and necessary part of growth. When you're willing to take risks, even if they don't work out perfectly, you open yourself to invaluable lessons and insights. Failure is no longer something to fear, but an opportunity to learn and adapt. Each misstep brings you closer to understanding what works best for you, refining your approach with each attempt. By embracing action in the face of potential setbacks, you free yourself from the need to be perfect. Instead, you focus on improvement, resilience, and the courage to try again. Failure then becomes a stepping stone to empowerment. Empowerment through action also fosters independence. When you take ownership of your journey, you stop waiting for others to lead the way or give you permission. You recognize that your path is yours to shape, and that you have the power to create meaningful change in your life. This sense of autonomy is liberating as you realize that you don't need to rely on others to validate your decisions or direction. Through action, you build a life that aligns with your true values and desires, unhindered by the expectations of others. Independence becomes a source of strength, a reminder that you are in control of your destiny. As you continue taking action, you start to see a ripple effect. The positive changes you make in your life extend to those around you, inspiring and motivating others. Your actions become a testament to what's possible, showing others that they too can take control of their lives and achieve their goals. Empowerment through action is contagious. It encourages a cycle of inspiration and motivation in your community. By living as an example of resilience and determination, you become a source of empowerment for others, creating a supportive network of like-minded individuals, all striving for personal growth and success. Action cultivates self-awareness. As each step you take teaches you more about yourself. The journey of empowerment isn't just about reaching a destination, it's about discovering who you are along the way. When you take action, you're constantly learning about your strengths, preferences, and limitations. You begin to recognize patterns in your behavior, understanding what motivates you and what hinders your progress. This self-awareness is a powerful tool, allowing you to make informed choices that align with your true self. Through action, you develop a deeper understanding of what you want from life and how to achieve it. The act of taking initiative strengthens your problem-solving skills. When you're committed to making progress, you're more likely to confront obstacles head-on rather than avoiding them. Each challenge you face requires creativity, resilience, and adaptability. Over time, you become more resourceful, finding solutions where you once saw roadblocks. This problem-solving ability becomes a key component of empowerment, giving you confidence in your capacity to navigate complex situations. Through action, you develop a mindset that views obstacles as opportunities for growth, enhancing your ability to overcome challenges in all areas of life. Action instills a sense of pride and accomplishment. Each step you take is a reflection of your commitment to yourself and your goals. This sense of accomplishment fuels further motivation as you begin to see the tangible results of your efforts. Empowerment through action creates a positive feedback loop. The more you achieve, the more confident and motivated you feel to keep going. This pride isn't rooted in external validation, but in a deep personal satisfaction of knowing you're actively working toward your dreams. You no longer need external rewards, because the fulfillment you feel is a reward in itself. Empowerment through action allows you to take full responsibility for your life. It's a reminder that you are in control, that you have the power to shape your future. This sense of responsibility is empowering, as it reinforces that your actions have real, lasting impact. When you choose to act, you are making a statement that you're no longer a passive observer in your own life. You're a creator, a leader, and an empowered individual with the ability to make meaningful change.